Good morning. Welcome to our Red Sort webinar. My name is Mike Brusso, an analyst with Red Sky Alliance. Today we will be discussing what the current trends with keyloggers are. Please check your chat window for a link to the keylogger report. Keyloggers are not a new technology. In fact, they've been around for decades. They were originally developed with productivity and monitoring in mind. And their primary uses included monitoring employees, monitoring children's online behaviors, and helping to troubleshoot IT issues. It didn't take long for malicious actors to identify keyloggers as a useful tool to collect credentials and personal information from unsuspecting victims. As keylogger technology advanced, the capabilities expanded to include access to microphones and cameras, the ability to log screenshots and videos, copy clipboard contents, and steal users' credentials. Keyloggers are generally split into two categories: hardware and software keyloggers. A hardware keylogger is usually a USB device plugged in between the target keyboard and computer. When the keylogger is running, it can be configured to store keystrokes in a local log file or send logs across the internet through FTP servers or emails. Hardware keyloggers are often more difficult to install because they require physical access to the target device. Because software keyloggers do not require physical access to target machines, they are more popular among attackers. Software keyloggers are often installed as malware through phishing or spear phishing campaigns and Trojan downloads. Software keyloggers are designed to avoid detection methods, including antivirus software. Two prominent software keyloggers are Hawkeye and Predator Pane. Hawkeye has been seen in the wild for close to a decade. This keylogger is often installed as a Trojan with other software. It uses process hollowing to deceive antivirus software. What is process hollowing? Process hollowing is when a benign process is started and then suspended, and malicious code is injected into the hollow process to hide in plain sight. Hawkeye injects the payload into the MS build and VBC executables. Hawkeye also uses a delay before execution to avoid sandbox tools and even looks for other malware on the compromised system and removes it from the environment. To remain persistent, Hawkeye will take over the command prompt and task manager to prevent users from disabling certain processes. Hawkeye stores logs locally and then deletes them after the files are sent to a remote host. Red Sky Alliance has been collecting data about Hawkeye and Predator Pane since 2015. Recently, we have seen a significant drop in both Hawkeye and Predator Pane data in our data collections. CTAC, which is our Cyber Threat Analysis Center developed by Red Sky Alliance, has been collecting data for nearly a decade. Hawkeye and Predator Pane data have been a mainstay in the collections since 2015. Using CTAC to query for data about keyloggers, and then to visualize that data, we found there was a significant dip in activity for both Predator Pane and Hawkeye keyloggers. Looking at this chart, the big green bar hogs all of the attention. The reason that there are so many hits for July 2021, the green section, is because data was being hung up before reaching the database, and there was a technical issue that caused a backlog of the keylogger data. It all ended up being processed on July 8th, 2021. This graph does little to show a trend, but if you look at the next slide, we removed July of 2021 from the visualization to get a better view of the data. Now that the month of July is removed from the dataset, we can see a significant dip in hits for Hawkeye and Predator Pane. 3 of the last 4 months have had less than 100 hits. The average for the first 20 months in this chart is 13,191 hits per month. In the past 4 months, the average has dropped to only 428 hits per month. This begs the question, what happened to Hawkeye and Predator Pane? After some further research, we learned that the timeline of the decrease in Hawkeye and Predator Pane hits in CTAC coincides with the rise of the Snake keylogger. The Snake keylogger appears to be the new tool on the block for stealing information. It was first detected in November of 2020 and rose to the rank of second on Checkpoint's most wanted malware list for July of 2021. This is about the time that CTAC showed a decline in Hawkeye and Predator Pane data. The chart pictured on this slide shows the number of different Snake keylogger samples uploaded to Malware Bazaar between January 7th and February 9th of 2022. In just a month, 317 variations of the Snake Keylogger malware were uploaded. It's important to note that Malware Bazaar is tracking different Snake malware samples, and CTAC is counting the number of compromised credentials. So we're comparing apples and oranges. To find some common ground, we had to check Malware Bazaar's data on both Predator Pane and Hawkeye keyloggers. In the past month, there were no new variants of Hawkeye and Predator Pane malware. In fact, in all of 2021, there were only 919 new variants of Hawkeye and 16 new samples of Predator Pane. There have been over 4,500 different samples of Snake uploaded to Malware Bazaar in that time frame. The Snake Keylogger provides much of the same functionality as Hawkeye and Predator Pane. One of the first delivery methods recorded for Snake Keylogger included phishing campaigns with the RTF document exploit. The Snake Keylogger has also been delivered in .img, zip, tar, gz, iso, rar, and 7z attachments. The Snake Keylogger, like Hawkeye, uses process hollowing and disables antivirus processes to avoid detection. It copies itself to the startup folder for persistence. This keylogger can take screenshots, copy clipboards, steal credentials, and collect configurations. It targets web browser databases, email clients like Microsoft Outlook and Mozilla Firefox, Discord and Pigeon chats, and stored passwords on browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. The malware discovers and logs information about the victim environment, including the operating system version, computer name, hard disk size, and RAM. Snake exfiltrates data through FTP, email, or Telegram based on the attacker's configuration decision. Similarities in the Snake Keylogger codebase are found in the Cheetah Keylogger, Phoenix Keylogger, and 404 Keylogger. Researchers at HP believe that they are likely all derived from the same source code. Seeing the decline in traditional keylogger hits in the CTAC database made us curious. We had to question, are less attackers using Hawkeye and Predator Pane? And if so, why? The CTAC data certainly pointed to this. Our initial hypothesis included a shift to mobile keyloggers, which is still a possibility as the Medusa Android banking Trojan, also called Tanglebot, made headlines this past week. Another thought was attackers prefer ransomware attacks to maximize their profitability. The dip in CTAC hits on Hawkeye and Predator Pane keyloggers is likely a result of attackers moving to new keylogging malware like the Snake Keylogger. So how do you protect yourself or your organization? Here are some tips to prevent keylogger attacks. The primary delivery method for keylogging software is through phishing and Trojan horse malware downloads. To prevent installation, it is important to raise employee awareness about phishing attacks. Do not click on any links in suspicious emails or messages. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication where applicable. Ensure all software and file downloads come from trusted sources. Keep antivirus up to date. And periodically check for physical keylogger devices between the keyboards and computers. The goal of this Red Short presentation is to share some insights into the current state of keylogger attacks. I hope you found the information helpful. Cybersecurity researchers often share each other's threat intelligence, and this brief today is an effort to share our intelligence. Thanks for joining us today. If you are not a Red Sky Alliance member yet, please consider signing up on our portal at redskyalliance.org. The membership is free and will give you access to other Red Sky Alliance content, including today's brief. Have a nice week, and we hope to see everyone back here next week on the 23rd.